Here's one of the best advice I've received. People like to give their opinions, but nobody really cares what you have to say unless they know you care. A few years ago, my pastor read my book, Live to Give, an inspirational memoir about freedom, faith, and selflessness. A few weeks ago, my pastor interviewed me for an event called One from the Pews. I shared my family's journey escaping communist Vietnam when I was 14 months old on April 30th, 1975. My father was a fisherman. Trusting in God, he used his boat to help my family find freedom eventually in America. During this journey, I nearly died twice. I share my story because I care about freedom and faith. I care about the future of children and their families in America. During this election season, there is a lot of rhetoric from media and the politicians. Take time to learn from history and from people who suffered under communism. The last president of South Vietnam once said, "Don't listen to what the communists say, but look at what they do." The Harris-Walz campaign claims to want law and order, but they let illegal immigrants cross the border. They defunded the police. They give money to funds that help release people who've committed crimes in 2020, burning down cities and destroying businesses. They claim to want peace, but they send money to countries to support wars, death, and chaos. They claim to support women's rights, but they vote and give money to causes that allow men to enter women's bathrooms. They support men competing in women's sports. They give money to fund abortion. How can you say you support women's rights when you end the life of babies before and at the time of their birth? How can you say you support families and parents when you take the parents' rights away? When the parents disagree with your agenda on gender-affirming care? How can you run on a platform for freedom when you attack religious freedom for Catholic doctors like myself, when I refuse to do procedures and counsel the way you want? You cannot claim to support religious freedom when you don't speak out on the attacks of Catholic churches and desecration of the tabernacles across the world. Before you go out there and vote for our leaders, please remember this. You don't have to guess what President Trump can do for you, regardless of your religious beliefs. He protected a family. He demonstrated that protection of Americans against illegal immigrants was a priority. He supported the police. We had no wars. He protected women's rights by not allowing men in sports or in women's bathrooms. You had more money, had lower gas prices, and spent less money on groceries. There was definitely more freedom, less chaos, and more prosperity. For me, the most important thing as a Catholic doctor is to vote for lessening evil and for the promotion of life. If you agree with what I have to say, please share this video across the board and enlighten people as they make choices for our leaders this election season.